four sources of immigrants, all Asia. The population now has just raced past 27 million. 8.2 million of us were born overseas.
ABS says that it's now one migrant every 42 seconds, which is and ultimately, if they don't get a handle on this, it's going to create a social crisis, right? Like, this is going to be bigger than just the economy. It's going to get really bad.
Last year, we took in 100,000 immigrants from India. That is more immigrants from just one country than we used to take in an entire year. It is a complete betrayal of Australians by our politics.
The number of Indian-born residents has doubled in 10 years. Almost 1.1 million people in 3 years.
Mr. Albanese, I have a question for you on behalf of hundreds of thousands of Australians around the country.
I'm Fiona. Nice to meet you. Hey.
There are hundreds of thousands of Australians around the country who are unable to afford housing. And I have a question for you, Mr. Albanese. When are you going to put Australians first?
Mate, that's enough.
Albanese, when are you going to put Australians first?
That's enough. Thanks, mate. That's enough. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
I'm here to ask Albanese a question.
Thank you. Thanks, Mom.
Mr. Albanese, don't you think 1.8 million immigrants in 5 years is going to increase demand on the medical system? What about the fact that people my age can't get any housing, we can't get rentals anymore, we have no future in this country anymore? Don't you think that's kind of ridiculous? No? You can't touch me, mate. You know.
PM, we got a lot of questions, more than we can ask, about immigration. People expressing that they feel like immigration levels were too high. Do you concede they got a bit too high?
Not only did they get too high, they're still too freaking high. We're 3 years into this so-called housing crisis, and the rental vacancy rate has not even improved and remains at a ridiculous 1%. So that in itself tells me that immigration levels are way above what they should be. But does anyone truly give a rat's?
I can't believe the Greens victim blamed this man after he told his story about almost going homeless.
Is this creeping trend to say that migration is also the problem for things like housing. You don't need to blame migrants, people who are just coming here seeking a better life.
I'm already working 2 jobs. One more rent increase, and my family, my 1-year-old baby, we're facing homelessness and we've got nowhere to go. My family's already been forced out of Sydney for the same reasons. I want to know, is the government going to cut immigration to match housing availability, or are we just going to keep going until every regular working Australian is homeless?
Oh, good day, folks. Now, I want to talk to you guys about excessive immigration, why it's happening and what the larger plan is, because a lot of people are getting very, very upset about it, but you really need to understand the larger plan and why it's actually happening. Now, before I do that, I also want to let you guys know my own father was an immigrant, right? He came here from Peru when he was young. Dad's side of the family was, there's some German in there, some French, some Italian. Mum's side of the family, all English-Irish background, been here for several generations. But my point being, the reason I say that is because I'm not opposed to immigration. It's just got to be done in a way that's sustainable so that the existing population of a country or the existing identity or culture of a country is not completely diluted and replaced. And so once you understand that that's the reason they're doing it, a lot of this stuff is going to start to make sense. Now, we have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people coming here in the next couple of years. There's already been hundreds of thousands, if not millions, over the last couple of years. We already have a chronic housing shortage, right? Why would the government be flooding us with large numbers of people when there's already not enough homes for people, right? It's to inflict damage on the country. It's not out of compassion for the people coming from poorer nations. They'll play that card, oh, we're just trying to help out. No, they're deliberately trying to destroy your identity. You have to understand that. This is no poor policy or it's no immigration mismanagement. This is a critical thing to understand. These people are rolling out a meticulously well-organized plan to destroy your national identity. You have to understand that part. Why would they want to do that? It's because in the shadow government of the world, which exists, all these powers that be that we don't really get to see, they infiltrate governments like our own with imposters, with traitors. And those traitors then flood the country with immigrants so that your national identity is destroyed and that you'll end up sliding into this globalist plan that they have. And I know that sounds far-fetched, but these people, these control freaks, these psychopaths, have a plan to set up a global government. And a lot of this is also spoken about, or we're warned of it, in the Bible as well, right? This whole global government. And we're starting to see it play out. And how do they destroy your national identity? How do they eradicate your culture? How do they make sure you don't know who you are so you'll fall into the globalist trap? Well, they destroy your national identity by flooding the country with people with a completely different culture that does not assimilate. We're not talking about small numbers of people, we're talking about disproportionate numbers. So this starts to make sense when you look what's just happened in Ireland and what's happening, being utterly flooded with fundamentally different cultures that don't assimilate, that it's not in their nature or their inclination. And why should they assimilate? They have their own culture. They don't want to change their culture. They're being imported deliberately to dilute the existing culture of somewhere like Ireland. We're seeing the same thing in the UK. They've done a demolition job. The globalists have done a demolition job on the UK. It's many parts, doesn't look like the UK anymore, right? Thousands of years of conquests and battles and bloodshed and unimaginable sacrifices to create the United Kingdom. And in one generation, it's being destroyed by globalists. Look at Canada, very similar story. Many parts of Canada, unrecognisable. Look at Belgium, many parts, unrecognisable. Sweden, same story. And so when you start to see the pattern here, look at Germany as well. So this is happening throughout Europe and throughout Western nations that have been completely inundated. And you can't, this is one thing I really want to stress, you can't blame the immigrants for wanting a better life. If you're living in a really poor part of the world and someone opens the door to this beautiful country for you and they're giving you checks and food and accommodation and paying for everything, why wouldn't you go? So please don't take out or hold any resentment to the people coming here, because why shouldn't they want a better life for themselves and their family? You need to direct your frustrations at the root cause of the problem, which is these globalists who have infiltrated our government here in Australia and all these other governments as well. I would call, in my opinion, Anthony Albanese a traitor of the highest order, a complete traitor to Australia, because he is taking orders, I believe, he's taking orders from globalists to flood Australia with immigrants so that our national identity is destroyed to push us into the globalist system. That's the plan here, folks. The Greens are doing the same thing as well, you know? And you're going to see this throughout woke and liberal governments all around the world doing the same thing. Open borders, massive immigration, and trying to destroy the individual culture of that particular nation to push them into globalism. This starts to make sense when you look at, let's think back to, it wasn't so long ago, all these hospitality venues here in Australia said they were going to ban Australia Day. Thankfully, there was huge outrage, but why would they be banning Australia Day? It's because these people are controlled, these organisations are controlled by globalists who want to eradicate our national identity. Same as you're going to start hearing more calls for Anzac Day to be cancelled. Oh, we shouldn't be celebrating war, all these sorts of things. No, they're actually trying to eradicate and destroy our culture and our heritage so that we don't know who we are. People who don't know who they are will fall into the globalist trap. So I hope this is starting to make sense. You got to think about this, folks. It's the people of a country who make it that country. It's the Japanese who make Japan, Japan. It's the Jamaicans who make Jamaica, Jamaica. It's the Romanians who make Romania. There's something unique about people. Look how unique the Irish are, the Canadians, the Poms, the Brits. Like, there's something unique about Australians. And I hate to tell you, folks, but you are being replaced.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Allah.
By design, and you are being sold out by high-level traitors and imposters who have infiltrated this government and this nation. And that's why you're going to see record numbers planned to come here when there's already a record housing shortage. It's not an accident, folks. It's deliberate, it's by design. And until Australia gets rid of the traitors and the imposters, it will only get much, much worse. And we don't have long, folks. Okay, this government, and whether Albo's around or Dutton's around, it won't make much difference. They're all taking orders from the same people, folks. Sorry to tell you that. They will continue to try and destroy this country. And if you speak up for it, they'll call you a racist. That's how they demonize you for actually exposing their agenda. Oh, he's a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I love people from all parts of the world. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter. Brown, yellow, black, white, doesn't matter. I will treat you with respect. But first and foremost, I'm an Australian and I'm a patriot and I love this country, and I know if you excessively, I'm not saying in small amounts, but I'm saying if you excessively import the third world, this nation will turn into the third world. And look at the track that we're on. Record numbers of homelessness, a housing crisis and a cost of living crisis like you have never seen before. Thousands upon thousands of Australians living in their cars, only set to increase. And it's starting to look more and more third world. Look at how many homeless are on the corners of the streets of the cities now. Can you see the plan, folks? I hope you can see it. And so, like I said, I'm not opposed to immigration. I am opposed to globalists destroying our country by design. I hope that makes sense, folks. If this does make sense, please share it far and wide. Appreciate your support. Get on my Telegram. I've been banned from going live on Facebook. I've been banned from going live on Instagram. This account is already under several restrictions. Please join me on Telegram where free speech is alive and well. Over and out. Bye for now.